Hello everyone, I'm the Cinema Stone, and today I'll be taking a look at um, Spider-Man: No Way Home. That's right, just few hours ago, just saw Spider-Man: No Way Home, and oh my god, it was everything I wanted it to be, and I think all diehard Spider-Man fans, or even Marvel fans, or even movie critics and audiences would want in general, because for the first time ever, Alfred Molina, um, Jamie Foxx, and Willem Dafoe all reprise their roles as Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and Electro. And of course, even with add-on villains, of course, like the Lizard and Sandman. Still, seeing all those guys um reprise their roles for the first time ever in like so long on the big screen all together was just incredible. And of course, this film as well stars Tom Holland as Spider-Man as usual, Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, and Zendaya as MJ. Um, Now, of course, this picks up literally just moments or a few hours, of course, after the events of Far From Home. And so, what I noticed as well about John Watts, which is pretty impressive with these Spider-Man films, is that, of course, with Homecoming, it wasn't of course, it wasn't very small, but it wasn't very big either. It was just, a bit, just a bit of a, still kind of I guess, a small, okay, decent film. And, it was just him, of course, going around the neighborhood, making, of course, um, jokes and, swinging around and all that sort of stuff and helping anyone around, in society in general. Still, with each one, he really does know how to make it bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, and like, with the first one, he just wanted to make a decent, fun story, but with Far From Home, well, of course, he took it a step a bit, took it one step higher. Of course, wasn't entirely big, but it wasn't very small as well. So what I'm trying to say is, I like how each time he expands a bit more and a bit more on the world of Spider-Man in general, and maybe even a bit of the Marvel universe around him in general. But No Way Home was so far probably the biggest and most grandest, like scale ever, at least Spider-Man film like ever. Because for the first time since Marvel's What If or whatever, they start of course exploring the multiverse. And holy shit, from so far from what I've seen, oh, I'm interested, alright, and I want to see more of the multiverse. And I can't wait to see it in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So are we all, to be exact. Anyway, first I want to get to, of course, Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Um, yeah, Tom Holland as Spider-Man in general, of course, he's great as usual, and this time, of course, he's got a bit of a new struggle, obviously, because he's meeting all these enemies, left and right that he doesn't even know that apparently he has, but just not from the same Earth that he is. And of course, this is still everything I wanted it to be, and yeah, just seeing all these guys appear once again is just great. Of course, the jokes are funny. Benedict Cumberbatch as well was funny at one point, actually a few points. Of course, Tom Holland as Spider-Man is good as usual, is funny. Ned is pretty funny as usual, and MJ as well. Um, but still seeing, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, Jamie Foxx's Electro, and of course Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, and all the others in general, just seeing them though all interact was just incredible. Because that's just one of the few things I obviously wanted to see in this film. I wanted to see, like what were their reactions to each other, and like just in general, how would they talk to each other? How would they react to each other? And it was just so incredible just seeing them all together. Like in one movie all together. Um, but also it was even just amazing just seeing how at least Tom Holland's Spider-Man would react to them in general and stuff like that. Um, the effects, of course, as usual, are really cool. Um, this film as well also has some really, great and interesting and weird, of course, visuals, especially when Doctor Strange is around. Um, as well as you could probably tell from some of the trailers or ads or whatever. Um, and all I can say is, well, throughout the story as well with Tom Holland as Peter Parker, um, just seeing, all the people that he loves get hurt and even just the struggles in general was just really appealing but sad as well in a way for me. Just, um, and you can tell that with the amount of damage in way he's accidentally caused, like everyone knows who he is now and everything. Um, I liked how they explored that very deeply, and what's how society as well would think of him when they found out he was Spider-Man, and realizing as well the mistakes and the damage he has caused. He he really does care about making it better and tries to make it not just better for himself, but better for his friends, family, and name it, for his Aunt May, for Ned, for MJ. But not any of that. What I also like in a way is that um, they didn't just kind of make him an outcast in this film, but they sort of made even his friends, like of course Ned, MJ, um, and Aunt May, and everyone in general who knows him, right? Like he feels an outcast, and them as outcast as well. But they literally try everything together. I mean, everything they can together, just to make it better for themselves. And they all will stick together, and that's what I love about that. Is that they are gonna defend him no matter what. Um, all I can say is, well, I'm not gonna spoil it, but the last few minutes of the film, um, still you understand why Peter decides to make this decision and why he does what he does, because of course he realizes how much this has affected the loved ones around him, and even if they're telling him don't do it at all, he still thinks it's the right thing to do, um, and he just knows it's not going to get any better if he does it this way. And when he does, it's really heartbreaking even in the last few minutes because, of course, I'm not going to say what happens, but when you see it, I thought, wow, this is very sad and emotional. Now, if you're wondering, does he die? No. I mean, after all, it was like 3 more Spider-Man films with him, so don't you worry. But still, just the way this ends, what it ends, like where it ends with him, I'm just all I could say was, well, yeah, good luck to you, Peter, and I just hope as well that so you wish him luck, and you just hope that he pulls through it at some point, and you just hope he doesn't get depressed, and still I'm just hoping he does okay, and I really am curious to see as well where his life takes him next, and that's something I think as well I would be very intrigued by as well. But in this movie as well, I also feel like he also has some pretty even personal, in like development as well with Doc Ock and Electro and Green Goblin and all of his other villains in general. Still, just the way he interacts with them as well at times is very interesting and very intriguing to me, and I think you guys might get that as well. Still, all I can say is this is a fun roller coaster, popcorn movie. If you haven't seen this in theaters yet, please do. It is one heck of a film you will never forget, and I think everyone will enjoy. So yeah, when you can, go and see Spider-Man No Way Home. I give this film a 9 out of 10. This is everything that I wanted it to be, and I'm glad I saw it. Anyway, that was my review of Spider-Man No Way Home. Anyway, um, happy Christmas, everybody.